guess what I have for you today? It's a surprise. Have you heard of conchas before? Conchas, pan dulce, Mexican bread. These are very popular, very authentic. One of the top #1 Mexican breads. You've probably seen them at bakeries. It's called a concha, which is look like a shell because they have like the original, you know, like the lines that simulate a shell, like a seashell. Well, if you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you've seen that I already posted yesterday what was coming up today. And I'll be doing that from now on. So if you're following me on Instagram or Facebook, you get a sneak peek of what's coming up in like a day or two. I'll be putting them up 1 or 2 days before the video actually comes out. So if you're not following me, I'm going to put the link right here for my Facebook or Instagram. And I'm very proud to say that I'm the first one to come up with keto conchas. At least this kind. Yes, I mean, I don't know if you've seen any out there. You've seen vegan, you've seen gluten-free. Now, vegan and gluten-free doesn't mean they're keto. I know that could be a little tricky. A lot of people say, oh, it's gluten-free. You know, it's keto. It's not. It still contains carbs. And vegan, you know, it just means that they're not using eggs or dairy or anything like that. But it's still using flour. So don't be mistaken. These are the authentic, first time out there in YouTube. Conchas, Mexican conchas. Ooh, it's all for you fit people. And guess what? I'm going to give you the recipe for free. All I ask from you to please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and to share. Share at least with one person, you know, let them know about my channel. Hey, Pinche Nancy has these great recipes in keto, and she's coming up with like English recipes now. Please, just as long as you share and subscribe, like, and share with people you know, that's all I ask for. Now, here we go. Let's get started with this recipe. Now we're going to put our oven at 325 Fahrenheit. So we can start warming up. So 325 and set. So before we start with our bread dough, we're going to start with the crust, the sweet crust on top. We're going to need 3 tablespoons of butter. Make sure it's room temperature so it can be soft. So maybe leave it out about 30 minutes before you start doing this. To that we're adding 1/2 cup of substitute powdered sugar. And we're adding 1/2 cup of almond flour plus 1 tablespoon. So that's a total of 1/2 cup plus 1 tablespoon of almond flour. And now we're going to start incorporating all the ingredients. I'm using a little spatula and not my hand because I don't want the butter to melt with the body heat. It will be too melty, it's not going to be good. So we want it to look like a paste. And right now it looks like it's impossible. It's thick, but don't worry, it will come through. As you can see, I already have the dough. See, it looks almost like Play-Doh. Now, I want to divide it in half because I want to make some white and some chocolate. So I'm going to cut it in half like this. And on half of the dough, I'm just going to add some cocoa powder. Now, the one that I'm using is unsweetened. And I'm only going to use 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of unsweetened cocoa powder. Feel free to use any brand that you like. So, just pour it in. If you want it extra chocolatey, feel free to add more. And we're just going to start mixing it in. It's going to take a while. It's kind of like playing with Play-Doh. So now let's start with the dough. Now we're going to sift 1 cup of almond flour. Now this is for the actual bread, the sweet Mexican bread. 4 tablespoons of coconut flour. Same thing, we're going to sift it. Make sure you get rid of all the lumps because we want the bread to be fluffy. So there. You see how it looks? Beautiful, nice and fluffy. To that we're adding half a cup of substitute sugar. It's granulated what I'm using. A pinch of salt. 2 tablespoons of baking powder. 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So now we're going to mix our dry ingredients. Just give them a little whisk. There. So now we're going to add our wet ingredients, which is half a teaspoon of vanilla essence. It's only half a teaspoon. 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. And 2 tablespoons of butter, unsalted. And now we're adding 2 eggs, 2 large eggs. There's 1 and 2. And now we're just going to combine everything with our clean hands. Just mix the dough. Now right here, it's all going to depend how many breads, how many conchas you're going to make. I'm going to make 5. Feel free to make 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, whatever you want to make. It's up to you. I'm going to give you the macros at the end of the video in the description box. Now let's start. Now for that, we're going to need a little bit of olive oil. Now that's just going to be for your hands. It's not going to be for the actual dough. It's just so the dough doesn't stick to your hands. So, there we go. Put a little bit of oil, rub it all over your hands and your fingers. And as you can see, I already have the parchment paper on my pan. Here we go. Make the little balls, just little balls, and then place them, flatten them down into the shape that you want them. There we go. Give them some space. And now we're going to do the top, the cover, the sweet crust. Now, if you could use either parchment paper or I'm using a plastic bag that I just cut from the sides. Just any plastic will do. I'm going to be using a tortilla press, but if you don't have one, I'm going to show you in a bit how to do it with the roller. I'm going to start with the chocolate crust. So just cut about a piece, and just make like a little ball. And it just depends how thick you want your crust. You could make it a bigger ball or a smaller ball. I decided to make it a little bit bigger because I do want like a thicker crust. So just make a little ball. And you're just going to place it inside the tortilla press. And do not press all the way down. Just barely tap it. And see? Now because you're trying to make the same size of the concha. And then just kind of just lay it on top. Doesn't have to be perfect, but so there. And then you got to just kind of fix it, make sure it does stick to it really good, to the edges. And there we go. Now let's do another one. Now I'm going to show you with the roller. It's pretty easy. Same thing, make a little ball, cover it up with plastic, and then just roll it with the rolling pin. You see I had some left over, so if you wanted to make more than 5, you're definitely going to be enough crust to cover them all. So now we're going to give them the shapes of the actual authentic conchas. So they're called conchas, which in English means shells, you know, like seashells. So with the pizza cutter, I'm just kind of doing little curves, kind of like a seashell, you know. Do not cut all the way deep, because then when it cooks, it kind of opens up. So just barely try to stay on the crust cover, on the, you know, just a sweet crust. So now another typical way that you'll find the Mexican bread is like just regular lines crossed and then like squares. Vertical and horizontal lines. And now I'm going to show you how you can do it with a knife. Just in case you don't have a crust roller, a pizza roller. So again with the knife, just kind of try to make a seashell. There. And now I'm going to do the same with vertical and horizontal lines, just to make some squares with the knife, so it gives you an idea. Options, you know, with the knife or the pizza cutter. Just don't go so deep. And I'm going to go back with the pizza cutter, make another seashell. Kind of just curve it like that. Oh my god, they look so beautiful. And now they look small right now, but believe me, once they go in the oven, they're gonna get big. They're definitely gonna grow. So remember, at 325 Fahrenheit for 25 to 30 minutes. It all gonna depends how warm your oven goes or how warm it is. So make sure you check up on them. So we now have authentic keto Mexican conchas. Sweetbread. I know you guys know them as sweetbread. So Mexican sweetbread, authentic keto style. If you have not seen my latest video, I'm just going to put them right here so you can click on them. They're in English. There's many more coming up. Well, until next video, I'm going to enjoy this concha. And it's time to try our conchas, because now it's been exactly 28 minutes. You know that they came out of the oven, then we let them rest for 15 minutes, and now they're ready to be tried. Here we go. I'm going to try the vanilla one. Well, it doesn't have vanilla. I just call it vanilla because it's white. Because I tried the chocolate one for my Spanish video. So I want you to take a look when I break it, how soft it is. Bring it the camera close by. Here we go. You see how soft it is, how it came apart, and look how spongy. Did you see that? Ooh, look, it just like crumbles. So soft and spongy. That's what we want. That's what a concha is supposed to be like, very soft. Of course, you're not going to compare the dough with the real concha because, you know, that has gluten. It's real flour what they're using. They're not using almond flour like we're doing here. But this is as close as you're going to get to a concha that is like bread-like. This is as close as you're going to get. So let's try it out now. Like melts in your mouth. That's how soft it is. It's like I'm having a concha, like a real concha. You see how soft? You see how it fell apart? That's how soft it is. Oh. We now have our keto